Hello, the internet.
Hi, internet.
Let me fix this.
Oh yeah, like we're chopping the top of our heads off.
Well, I'm shorter, so when I'm setting it up,
Although then I catch the glare on the side of my big forehead.
well, then you're just gonna have to deal with that. But we can move this a little. Hi, everybody. We're gonna move this a little.
Howdy.
Welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions. Your can't miss Bill shit.
Mm-hmm.
I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bumperkins. And he has opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am winging this. I didn't even print out.
Oh yeah, but we do have at least a moderately we're gonna talk about this kind of sort of.
Correct. Yeah, and to be fair, last week we
also did that.
We also did that, and it was one of our best viewed shows.
Yeah.
Maybe we're better just off the cuff.
Maybe we should just do that. Like we'll you join us and we'll talk about a thing.
Mm.
We won't say what. We don't even know.
We don't even know. Well, today we've got a couple ideas, but I think before we go into kind of I guess that counts headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. I got a question for you.
Sure.
We got this thing here to drink.
Yeah.
Do we want to crack that open and try it?
Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and,
All right.
we'll talk about beers briefly before we get into
All
the rest of the meat here.
We will do that.
I'm going to start with what we're drinking right now. What I'm drinking, this is called Festbrook from Westbrook, and it's obviously it's a Fest beer, or what they call a Fest beer, although it is not a Marzen.
Right.
It is more. It tastes. I told Laura. To me, it tastes like a Vienna lager. It's got kind of a vanilla sort of.
Yeah, it's really light for even a Fest beer.
Yeah, it says it's a Weizen style golden lager is what it claims to be here.
Oh well, so the Weizen.
All right.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Yeah, it's a weird take on a
Fest beer.
It's not good though. I mean, it's definitely drinkable, and I'm enjoying it. So that's fine. What I brought today that's weird. I saw this thing called Dunkin'
Pumpkin Spice Ice Latte Spiked.
Yeah.
So is it even a beer?
I don't know. It was in a bottle shop, so I assumed it was a beer because of where it was, and it was with other beers.
I'm going to go with it's not.
It's probably one of those nasty seltzers, and I'm really going to hate it.
I don't know. Yeah. So as you know, we're still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene.
Yeah.
We're using plastic. I brought out Dixie cups because I'm like, I don't know about it.
It smelled exactly like what it's purporting to be. Honestly, look at this.
Ew.
It looks like a pumpkin latte.
Let me pour a little of this and hopefully you can see it. That it's creamy and weird, and I'm not gonna pour
it looks exactly like pumpkin latte.
Oh gosh.
Spice chai or something.
It
smells like it too.
It smells like turkey to me.
Turkey?
Yeah, it does.
You just associate this with turkey then. No, it smells like sweet. I smell cream and spices.
I don't want this. I'm afraid of it.
It's actually pretty palatable.
Yeah, but it's not beer. It's literally just a spiked pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, they just and I don't know which I could see doing but I'd rather just get myself a pumpkin spice latte and pour rum in it or something.
Yeah, or just it's part of it's the coffee flavor that I don't like because I don't like coffee.
Oh, okay. You actually can taste the coffee?
I can.
Do you not like coffee stouts then also?
No, I do like coffee stouts. That's the weird part because the coffee and the beer, I think, pairs well together. But this is just coffie. It's just whatever the hell.
It doesn't mix well. So I just got a clump of the alcohol. like I'd previously just been drinking the pumpkin spice part, and then I just got like a mouthful of the mouthwash or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever they've used to spike it.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, now I don't like it anymore.
No.
Like it's just an alcoholic beverage, not a beer.
Yeah.
And it had no business being in a bottle shop, and now I'm gonna complain. I also brought a pumpkin ale from Serenat, which is an actual pumpkin ale.
Right.
I will have that to get that taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that.
I'm gonna finish this, although it's probably gonna now ruin my.
Yeah, it definitely has affected my palate. Ew. Don't thumbs down. 0-10 would not drink again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wish I'd seen. I always hate that. I hate when I've learned at the grocery store now there's usually like a cutoff. Like you'll realize like I've walked past the beers
Right.
and into that weird section where it's like
seltzers and shit.
Seltzers and spiked tea and lemonade and all that horse shit. Those multi drinks that I don't want to drink, you know?
Right.
And I've kind of learned like, no, that's not beer.
Not beer.
Stop here. This
Not
is
beer.
the end of the good stuff.
Right.
Although it's weird because at some stores they put that in between the craft beers and the domestic beers.
Right.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And like there's a couple of domestic beers that I don't hate. So sometimes I'll still wander down. You know what I mean? Like I'll go because they'll have the Shiner and a couple of those like in with the regular beer, you know, like
Right.
beside the Budweiser and stuff.
Right.
But then they've got the section of Mike's Hard Lemonade and White Claw in between there. And I'm
Exactly.
like, anyway.
Exactly. Okay, so do we have any just general Bill shit we want to talk about before we get into headlines?
Yeah, one little thing.
All right, hold on. Let me play the intro for Bill shit.
This was just the thing I thought about because yesterday we had taken some free time and knocked around a little bit in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you we went to Silva and we went to Waynesville and we spent a little money.
Right.
And it got me thinking like I need to pitch this again. And I'm saying this and I know a lot of our audience is not local to us, right? But I'm just to say I just want to put this out there for people like this Christmas. Shop local if you can help it. And I don't necessarily mean like, you know, shop Asheville or whatever. Great if you can. But if you live in Detroit, shop local in Detroit. Support your favorite local restaurants. Support your favorite local artists. Go see local bands. You know.
Yeah.
Buy stuff from a local boutique store that you like. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. Like don't go to the big box stores if you can help it. Don't buy off Amazon. You know, that guy doesn't even have the balls to fucking let his newspaper pick a side in an election, which that gives us a segue, I suppose.
Yeah,
but,
it does,
you know, I'm just trying to say, like, be sure to support small businesses during this holiday season.
For sure. And if you do want to support the Asheville community, of course, we welcome that, a region, the WNC community.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, there's a place to go. And I did not make a banner for it, but you can go to Love Asheville from Afar.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's part of the Explore Asheville website, but I'm sure if you Google Love Asheville from Afar, and there are all kinds of local businesses on there, restaurants. They've got options to purchase things online or donate, you know, if they have a fundraiser going on.
Yeah.
So you can do that. That can be your Christmas. If you really if you have friends and family down here, don't buy us anything. We don't need stuff. Don't send us anything. Go find, and I'll post the link after.
Yeah. And there's another one too. That's a greater Western North Carolina one that I'll send you the link to put on here as well, or I'll put it on there, whatever. One of us will put it on there.
Sure.
That contains all these kinds of things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's tons of, you know, artists and artisans and whatnot.
I saw local breweries on there, like selling their merch.
Right. Yeah. Plenty of people have been affected. They're still going to be essentially, I mean, they're not making, listen, we just lost tourist season this past month. And so, yeah, there's going to be a hardship. And so it'd be great to throw them some money, which is kind of what we were doing, you know, knocking around. We also just needed a day off to go knock around and do something and not think about all the crap you know, that's going on around here and stuff. So anyway, yeah, but we had a good time anyway. Just to let everybody know, because I keep doing this. I keep getting on the Reddit for Charlotte and for other areas in North Carolina and saying, hey, despite what Governor Cooper has said, all of Western North Carolina is not closed. Please come spend some damn money up here.
And there are even places here in town, like there are places in Asheville you shouldn't go to, like down by the river or whatever. That's just disaster tourism at that point. But there are a lot of restaurants and places open in even downtown Asheville and areas around, like all of Western North Carolina. You know, Waynesville, you said, was open. Weaverville is inviting people. Saluda is inviting people. Hendersonville is inviting people.
Yep.
So yeah,
there's like one corner in Hendersonville that's where these like two creeks merge. That one corner. Oh, this is crazy. That one corner. we went down there the other day, and every business in that corner is closed, right? Except the German restaurant.
Yeah.
Which the water came up to here in the German restaurant.
Yeah.
And that guy was open the next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably single-handedly
speaks to the tenacity of Germans.
That's true.
It really does.
That's true.
He's back open and I don't know if he's thriving, but he's surviving.
Right. And he's serving delicious German food.
I mean, he had his food truck in Saluda.
Yeah.
The week after it happened, I went to an Oktoberfest thing and I bought a bratwurst from him there.
Right.
I don't know about going back to the restaurant just yet. But
it's open.
But it's open.
You can.
if you want. Haus Heidelberg right there.
Yeah.
It's the only thing on that corner that's open. Everything else, honestly, everything else for like 3 blocks around there is closed because it all got flooded.
Right.
The Walgreens, the fucking CVS, the PetSmart, the whole not Whole Foods. What was the other one? Not Earth
Fair. Fresh Market.
Fresh Market. My God, and it's just me, or does Fresh Market put their place in beside a ditch in every town?
The one here had
it's in the floodiest part of town too.
Well, yeah, the one close to our house. Remember with the great Asheville,
the great sinkhole. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
And they had Sinkhole Junior directly in their.
Well, they also back up right beside a creek that overfloods all the time. And so I swear that they must just pick real estate. It's like, is this in the floodplain? And if they're like, no, it's not. They're like, well, we don't want it then.
Yeah, no, thank you. Well, speaking of shopping local or supporting local creators or whatever, you can buy our merch. We would we'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I have spent
if we suddenly had a boon of sales and we let's say we overshot what our goal was.
Sure.
We could pass the savings on. We donate some of this money to local stuff.
I would 100% share the money,
right,
with people. And I want you to know that I have spent minutes of my life designing this merchandise. So please check out. We've got our Stay Shitty art options. You can buy a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. My particular favorite currently is the Stay Shitty Matey, but of course there is Stay Shitty My Lord.
Do you have these on a canvas also? What can you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can totally get them on canvas.
Oh, very good.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Stay Shitty My Lord, Stay Shitty My Lady, Stay Shitty My Good Noble, and Stay Shitty Matey. So, and then of course you can buy our t-shirts, the old logo, which comes in many colors, and the new logo, which is just on black. I think it also comes in gray, whatever. But it was the streamlined are, black themed that we're going for now. Very, very demure, very mindful.
Right.
Is what we're going for now. So scan this QR code, buy some of our shit. We want to buy a camera, but honestly, if we got a couple dollars from y'all right now, we probably end up spending that locally or donating it to somebody, to be fair. So, let's do that. Okay. So let's get to headlines. I took a drink right when it ended. So
it's like when the waitress comes by when you have a mouthful of steak, and like, how is everything?
And I know the one thing I know about radio is you can't have dead air time, and I'm like, oh shit. Headlines. It is election eve.
Yeah.
No, it's election eve.
It's election eve. Yes, not eve. That was yesterday.
Yesterday. Election day eve is what I was attempting to say. Election day eve. That means the end of all the text messages. Hopefully.
Thank God.
Hopefully very soon.
Oh man. Yeah.
Hopefully by 7:00 tomorrow. I got one today, just before the show, that was like, you need to donate $20 more.
Sorry, you got one today?
No, I got a lot more than that.
I was gonna say, wait.
Yeah.
Because I got several between lunchtime and 5:00.
And a lot of calls that were I didn't answer, that were just possible spam.
Oh, I got one call from an Asheville number that I didn't recognize, and I actually tried to pick it up, but then it didn't go through, or they just hung up on me.
It was probably a
Probably something with and then I got a poll also.
Oh, did you get a poll?
I did get press or who you voting for, this or that or you're not voting, whatever. Press this number to answer this thing, and I did it. I've actually gotten that one. I want to say 10 times since the election season started.
Sure.
And every time I answer it the same way, and I never get any like it never says thanks or whatever. It doesn't give me like any like I would like some feedback. Like it's like, hey, yeah, you're one of like 72% of people, or you're one of 48% of people, or whatever, like
right. Yeah, I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day that they're like, I don't know who does polls. And I'm like, I've done polls. I'll do a poll.
Yeah, I'll do a poll. I'll put a poll on Facebook tonight.
I will, but I will typically Google the number of the group that's doing it, right? Because sometimes that shit's not real.
Yeah.
I'll Google to make sure that the organization is legit.
Okay.
And then I will answer
one question. Like, so I hate when you get the polls where it's obvious. It's almost obvious who's asking it, like, and it's and all the questions are. It's like, how shitty is Obama?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, that doesn't really give me a lot of leeway to answer the question the way I, like
exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, my answers, and also sometimes it's like my answers are more nuanced than like you're trying to reduce this to a soundbite. And I really have a lot to say about this thing.
I mean, to be fair, you have a lot to say about everything.
True that. Well, I mean,
not why we have a
not
show
everything,
on YouTube.
But there's things where you could ask me, and I'd be like, outside my level of expertise, and I don't know. But certainly politics. When they ask me these questions, and they're trying to keep them like. They want me to answer like one way. They want me to answer one way, not one way or the other.
They want you to answer one.
And it's basically just what scale of this one way can we get you to answer? And then I just get frustrated. I'm like, all right, stop. Fuck you. Goodbye.
I have actually taken to anytime I get a text message from an organization that I know is complete bullshit. Like very specifically, the Democrats are murdering babies and we're transgendering all kinds of people and children in school. Like those ones.
Yeah.
I've taken to responding with fuck off.
Yeah. And then you've been unsubscribed.
You've been unsubscribed.
Yeah. I do that. I've done that with every time I wind up on a right-wing mailing list, I just say fuck you or something, and then they say, okay, you're off of here.
Apparently
but you're off for 3 weeks, and then
exactly.
you wind up back on it again.
Well, because someone else bought the list, and
and then they start bothering you again. And
I'm
like, and I don't even know what the fuck, man, Jesus. Okay. Well, it's probably because at some point I probably did sign up for something just to like fuck with them or something, and then I actually forgot.
Yeah, I have done that too. The only time I know that I did that, so one time many, many years ago, I think well before even 2016, it might have even been before that when, Trump was primarying for other things. For presidency, but didn't make it. Because he's thrown his hat in the ring a few times.
Right.
That I signed up for one under the name Zaphod Beeblebrox. And that's the only time I know for sure. And like, I didn't get anything for like 5 years.
And then all of a sudden they're like, Zaphod, who are you voting for?
Exactly. And I'm like, someone bought that list.
Yeah.
Who bought that list? But
they obviously don't have like a data integrity person who runs through the list and goes, okay, this is obviously horseshit.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no way, first of all you have to do is Google Zaphod Beeblebrox, and
I know
that it's not a person.
I mean, as a person who that's mostly my job, is I go through data and go, okay, this is crap. Why is this in here? Get rid of it.
Right?
Like I notice when other people's data is like that, like it's full of holes and or jive or whatever.
Right.
Like why is this in there? You didn't even do the smallest amount of
exactly. Literally.
Research, or even like, because me, I'll sign up for a list 6 times or whatever. Let's say,
right?
They don't do dedupe or anything like that. Like that's a simple thing to do with a database. Is you just go, you highlight a cell and you go, hey, if you see duplicates, throw them out.
Yeah, man. The one thing I was always we go to Dragon Con every year.
Yeah.
And when we used to get the mailers, like the actual Dragon Con progress report.
Oh yeah, you get one. You get two to the same house.
No, we'd only ever get one
because they actually have a data.
They actually had somebody doing that.
Right?
Which,
Who'd go, what's the address?
Nerds. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it'd be 1 to an address.
Yes,
and that was it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we only ever got one too, because because they know what's going on. They're like, why waste the paper if clearly. Yeah, probably every household's got 3 or 4 people going to Dragon Con.
Exactly.
Why send more than one?
Exactly. Right. And so here's a quick aside though. Speaking of the inefficiency of the US mail and specifically the data of things like that. All right. So I applied for a couple of different government assistance things through this situation. Disaster unemployment.
Okay.
And DSNAP, which is the disaster food stamp.
Yeah, yeah.
And I applied to both of those, and I knew it was an outside chance, right? Like, because I have resources.
Sure.
And even though I couldn't work for like a week and a half, because of the nature of my work, I was able to quickly make that up. Like I didn't really lose any revenue, but I was like, you know what?
Just in case. I got
you. Been some bullshit. I'm going to apply. And I was denied both, which I totally understand is totally fine. It was worth a try anyway. Okay. But the thing I want to mention is, since that, for both organizations, I have received like a rejection letter, a physical mailed rejection letter every other day. I'm like, dude, you could have just given me the $10 it took you to mail these to me.
Well, that's the thing. This is another thing. So, back to the political stuff, I get a postcard every day from one of the campaigns.
Right.
Every fucking day. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you could have mailed me the money you spent on these postcards to buy my vote. I still wouldn't vote for you.
Right. Also that.
But I would at least have something instead of just throwing a bunch of bullshit in the landfill, because that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Every day. Another goddamn postcard with a bunch of lies and bullshit on it.
So I'm kind of mad that I did not do this, but I did not know this was a thing. We went to a brewery in Michigan when we were up there called Presidential Brewing.
Yeah.
Which, as you might imagine, could be a landmine because it is literally just all we sent you the puns and all that. Yeah. Like all the beers are presidential pun names and stuff, and like that could be a landmine because obviously president and politics is impossible to divorce.
Yeah.
And I was so mad that I didn't think of this because I would have never thought of this. But like in the prior weeks leading up to the hurricane, we were getting like daily multiple mailings that were like Kamala Harris is literally the devil and like all of these things. And of course I just tore them up and threw them away. Yeah. Whatever. But the Presidential Brewing was doing an event, I think on election day. So tomorrow, where you could bring all of the mailers, no matter from whom, but all of the mailers that you got, and turn them in for like a credit to beer. So depending on how much it was. Oh my God. And I think maybe they weighed it. I don't know exactly, or I don't think they counted it. I don't know. But you could trade your mailers in for beer. Christ, I was like, oh man, that would have been amazing. I know, right?
I would be drinking. And listen, after this election, depending on how things go, I might be drinking a lot more. You know?
Right. Exactly.
I hope I'm not, but that is on my. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted, because we haven't done this in really forever. True. And Presidential Brewing is where? It's in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay.
And you know where that is?
Where?
I felt the need to do that because
I feel literally sometimes I used to go out of my way to like try and squeeze something in every show where you could hit that.
Right. And it had been so long. Like even last week, obviously I talked a lot about being in Michigan, but we didn't even think about it.
You never hit it, yeah.
I don't think we did any of our bumpers or anything. Last week was literally a therapy session.
It totally was. It was just us bitching, like in catching up because we hadn't seen each other in a month or two.
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was like a lifetime.
It was a while.
Anyway.
Oh, well, all right. So wait, you were going to say something.
Was I?
You were.
I mean, I was going to say a lot of things, and I probably still will, but they're probably unrelated to whatever it was. Well, that thought is left the building.
Well, even for the last week, right? Since we saw each other last Monday, I mean, there's been so much going on. Obviously, the election is a big thing.
Yeah.
There was Halloween. There was there was something else that just happened. Well, my football team played the football good.
No, they played the football. Yeah, they won a game against the Packers.
The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, how about that?
They won fair and fucking square.
Was that in Green Bay?
Yep.
On the frozen tundra?
And it was on the muddy tundra.
The muddy tundra?
Oh my god, it was
because it was 78 degrees or something.
It wasn't quite 70. It was cold, but it was raining like
chilly.
Sideways rain.
Okay.
All game. Like
nasty
sideways rain.
Okay. On the muddy, rainy tundra.
Yeah, it looked gross. It looked gross. It was the attempt at another Mud Bowl. It wasn't as bad as the Mud Bowl, which if you don't know what
it was like Woodstock 94.
Yeah, exactly. No, but we did play the footballs and we did it well. And then before that we had the Halloweens. Did you do anything for Halloween?
Not really, no.
I really, here's the thing. We were going to talk all about the election.
Yeah.
And by the motherfucker, I'm tired of it.
I kind of am too.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, I mean, what is there to say? Listen, here's the thing I've learned. No amount of anything matters. Like you like, are there undecided voters? If there are, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And please vote for actual democracy.
Come on. But here's the thing. I mean, like, I feel like at this point, nothing. Okay, so I saw a thing drop yesterday where they released the Epstein tapes, where Jeffrey Epstein basically talks about his friendship with Donald Trump and all the horseshit Donald Trump.
The guy he never met? The guy Trump never met?
Yeah, sure.
Never met him, don't know him?
Never met him, don't know him.
Yeah.
Not like he met his current wife on their property or whatever,
I mean.
Anyway, regardless, hey, it matters not, because I know that nothing, honest to God, like, they could have film of Donald Trump raping a 12-year-old and they wouldn't give a shit. They'd still vote for the guy. Nothing will change anybody's mind at this point. Like, you're either
for the cultists.
You're either all in or you're all out. Yeah. Like, nothing matters. Fuck it. It's all chuckle fucks. Who cares? It's just blue versus red. Yak, yak, yak. Who cares?
But the hope is we still have a country when we wake up on Wednesday morning.
It really is my hope. But if we don't, I've got a couple of plans. One of them, drink myself to death. That's probably number one.
Cheers to that. Drink myself to death, but only in a solo cup now because.
Well, I have water at my house, so I can drink out of a proper glass.
I mean, we have water.
I can wash my pint glasses and drink myself to death that way.
Okay.
But
fair enough. I mean,
you feel free to come down to my house if you're missing. If you're missing
to death.
If you're missing drinking out of a glass, come visit.
I was thinking you were like proposing a miniature Jonestown situation.
Yes, sure. I'll doctor the beers. I won't tell you when. We'll just be drinking, and then on like number 8, I'll
probably we're dead.
I'll put the poison in the beer,
and that will be on the news as like some sort of like Heaven's Gate style cult, but nobody will have known that we existed before. And we're like, some people were found with cans.
I mean, nobody knew about Heaven's Gate until they were dead.
Pint glasses. No, I knew about them.
You did? You knew about it before it all went down? Okay.
Absolutely.
I did not.
I'm fascinated with cults. Right. Even then I was fascinated. And that was still the early days of the internet.
It truly was, yes. But I did in retrospect read a lot about T and Doe.
Right.
I love all the UFO cults, by the way. I mean, I've told you about my affection for the
Urantians.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the Raelians are pretty cool.
Yeah, big fan.
They've cloned a sheep or some shit. Yeah, no, maybe a child.
Well, they said they cloned children, but all that actually happened was their leader fucked a bunch of women.
Right, and that's a type of cloning. Yes. Cloning in the sense that you've exchanged half your DNA with someone.
Yeah. No, that's the crazy part about like Rael. The parallels to the Raelians and Elon Musk cannot be understated.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's about to buy a compound. He's looking to buy a compound for all of his children except for the one that he has disowned.
Because she's like, fuck you, you're a terrible person.
Yes. And the baby mamas. which like
so. But wait, do the baby mamas all still talk to him?
I know. I don't
like
know
Grimes does it. Like they all fucking hate him. Like they're like because basically they're with him for a minute and then they're like, this is a terrible person. Fuck this guy.
But for some reason they all have multiple children with him. Like that takes at least 9 months a piece, right?
Yeah.
Like Grimes has two
kids with him. Okay, well
at least 2.
All right, well then it's on her. Like I give you one. Like it could be a mistake. Things happen. It only takes 15 minutes to make a child. You know.
I mean, give or take.
And at that point, yeah, give or take, right? But yeah. I mean, probably in his case, 3 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But I'm just saying, like. But if shit happens, and like sometimes you wind up in a situation, and you go, hey,
But you throw instead of money,
if they have,
you throw aliens into the mix, and he builds a compound for all his baby mamas and his.
Well, he's interested in space travel.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't seem to be quite embracing aliens, though.
Not yet,
and not that kind. He's really upset.
Oh, he doesn't
like many people. About illegal immigrants.
I mean, although he is an alien.
Never mind the fact that he is an immigrant who may or may not
be here
violated.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but it's okay because it turns out there's a scale that you can judge the good aliens versus the bad aliens, and it's completely based on shade. Apparently, I think.
Yes, I think that's part of it. I think it should also because they're really concerned. It seems like that platform is really concerned about immigrants like committing violence against women, which frankly seems like that's something that maybe a category he fits into.
Right. So I always say every accusation is a confession from this troop. Usually.
It often is.
It's the same. Oh my God, the drag queens are going to be molesting your children, but then who's always molesting the children?
Then,
it always seems to be Baptist preachers, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Like every time I see something about somebody got busted for molesting children, it's always a Baptist preacher or a right-wing candidate or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's never ever I've never seen a drag queen molested a child in my life.
I've never seen it happen.
I've never seen that in the news.
Never ever.
I mean,
you hate to say never because then like they're gonna have a clip of this in the future when somebody does something. But
right, but
it has.
But look, statistically,
it's unlikely.
It's like yes, has there been a black female serial killer? Probably once, but not as many times as it's been a white male.
Creepy white man. Yeah. What is the theme song for Kimmy Schmidt? White people hold the record for creepy crimes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
100%. Oh my God. I'm gonna do an aside here for a moment and talk about there's a movie I saw one time that I cannot seem to find anywhere. God, but it's one of my favorite Nick Cage movies, and I'm not a big Nick Cage fan, but he's got a couple movies that I'm like, that's a great movie.
Yeah. I agree.
It's because he's prolific as hell. And when you're that prolific, you're going to make some shit.
Yeah, but you might accidentally hit on gold.
He's hit some gold a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of the golds, he made a movie with Samuel L. Jackson called Amos and Andrew, and it's sort of a critique of racial politics or something.
I vaguely remember
remember this
being a thing. Yeah, so, I don't know if I've seen it, but I remember it.
So in this movie, this takes place on Martha's Vineyard. And Samuel Jackson is a black intellectual. Let's say he's Cornel West. That's an analog for his character. He's like Dr. Cornel West.
Sure.
He's some sort of like black intellectual, radical, person.
Sure.
And the Nick Cage character is he's kind of the same character he is in I
mean, he doesn't have much range.
He doesn't have a lot of range. So Nick Cage is kind of the same character he is in my second favorite Nick Cage movie, which is Raising Arizona. He's a criminal.
Yeah.
And so basically he's breaking into a house that happens to be the house of the Samuel Jackson character, who's like I said, he's like a college professor or something. And the cops show up, and of course they make assumptions about what's going on.
Yeah.
Kind
of like the if I weren't drinking, I'd remember this. the situation where the guy from Know Your Roots, Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr.
Sure.
Remember the actual incident where he was going into his own home, and I mean he's a professor. And he was arrested, or cops came and harassed him. But then that was the whole beer thing where he and the cop and Obama had a beer in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's kind of like that situation,
exactly.
right?
It's a sort of a life imitates art sort of situation. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in this movie, the point I was trying to make was there's a point in it when I think at some point the Nick Cage character makes the Samuel Jackson character go to the house one house over, and so he makes him break into the next house, and they're in there, and I don't remember why, but they're rooting around through the side table in the next house for looking for something, maybe a flashlight or something. And Samuel Jackson pulls out a bunch of fucking like whips and chains and handcuffs, and he's like, "Fucking white people, man."
Exactly.
That's what I was getting.
And the long story short is fucking white people.
It was like a what do you call it? A Shaggy Dog story to get to that.
Right. So I do want to because we were before the storm. There's a definite before the storm and after the storm. Before the storm, we were trying to keep it down to a half an hour. Yeah. Last week we just blah 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 for an hour.
Before Battle of Yavin, I call it.
Yeah, exactly. But before we close out the show, did you watch the Saturday Night Live cold open?
I did watch it because you told me to watch it.
And watch it to the end.
I think you told me to watch it, and then also I think Jay mentioned it to me. So between the two of you, I was like, well, I better go watch this thing.
It was actually pretty good.
The joke I laughed the hardest at was when her husband asked her, can I get off of that? She was like, what is no. And he's like, you actually send those? And she's like, I do. He's like, can I get off of that? And she's like, no.
It's pretty funny. And I mean, I do not routinely watch SNL. So I understand.
I don't either. Although I remember when Kamala first started running, I saw a meme where it was like, the meme where there's like a black guy behind a tree in a yellow jacket, and he's doing this, and it's like
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah,
it is absolutely. And I didn't know that Dana Carvey had been regularly playing Biden.
I love that.
Oh my god! When I
was watching it, I was like, is that Dana Carvey? Like, oh my god, that fucking guy, he's so good.
He was so
I love
good.
Him. You remember back he used to play Bush and Ross Perot. Mm-hmm. That was back in '92.
Yes.
To Gen X on you guys.
Exactly.
Minute, right? And he was so good. Can I finish? Exactly. You guys remember Ross Perot? That was a thing.
They're putting gonorrhea in the sandwiches. I remember Ross Perot. Absolutely. All right.
Man, Ross Perot really was the gateway drug to all this.
Kind of was. And on that note,
oh god,
we should probably end this here.
Okay.
We may come back with things that are extra. I don't know.
See.
We'll see after we close this out. We'll see if there's anything we want to talk
all right.
But what we never did the intro, the outro, nothing last week.
It was so disjointed.
Why don't you take us away?
All right. Those opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura have agreed with him or vice versa. Either way, they agreed or they didn't agree. Well, it's not her responsibility to agree with me, and whatever. In-house, like I probably like this more than she did.
I did not like that.
But I still didn't like it. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Hashtag. What is the hashtag?
Can't miss Bill shit.
Can't miss Bill shit.
Or Opinion Gang.
Yes. If you have questions, comments, concerns, ideas for future shows, be sure to tune in next week when we'll have more stuff, but we don't know what about.
Because that's what we're doing now.
We're just being random now.
Off the cuff now.
Shit, man. I'm sure we'll have loads to talk about after tomorrow. Well,
after tomorrow.
We'll see how it shakes out. Y'all, be good to yourselves and take, just step away from the internet for a minute.
Do a little self-care.
There you go.
Tomorrow's going to be a rough day.
Yeah. Drink, jerk off, whatever you got to do.
Or, meditate or go for a walk in nature.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing ideas out there. I don't know how people deal with stuff. different strokes for different folks.
Take drugs. They may be illegal drugs, or they may be anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah, anti-inflammatories.
Well, that also. You know what? A lot of this would have been solved with an anti-inflammatory in a different context.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody.